Simon & Schuster AudioWorks presents Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I've prepared a joke, an actual joke.
That's good.
It's a bit of like
Crafted.
It's kind of like an opening monologue to a late night show sort of joke, maybe.
That's good. Why
so
not?
You know this.
If you wanna
so you know this. You know this Devil May Cry cartoon that they've got on Netflix.
Oh no.
Created by this guy Adi Shankar, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing a lot of people like this cartoon. They're saying it's pretty bad and not faithful to the source material. And then on top of that, if you heard all the people say it turns out he's also like a Trump supporting guy. He's like making friends with Asmongold and stuff online. He's like a Trump supporter and stuff. He went to the inauguration, you know? You heard about this?
You're not saying anything because I'm at the audience currently in the late night show.
No, I'm not saying this is a late night show bit. I'm just saying it's of that sort of, it's got that kind of punchline.
I thought I was supposed to just be like an audience.
No, you're still supposed to be...
I'm supposed to react to this? Okay.
Or rather, still just converse with me.
This isn't a late show at all. I'm sitting in the audience
I'm not saying it's a late show. I'm
you.
saying it is of that caliber, okay? Anyway, so just answer my question. You know about this old stuff with Adi Shankar, right? People aren't happy with him. They're not happy with him. He made that Castlevania show. He made that Captain Laserhawk. We watched like 2 episodes of it, right? I can't remember a single thing that happened to me.
I remember it was Rayman was on cocaine.
The most notable thing is Rayman like does cocaine, and then all of the dialogue from every other character is like, "Holy shit nuts! What the fucking shit crap!" You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, like you know, this guy seems like such a detriment to productions now. They're gonna probably need to change his name from Adi Shankar to Subtracti Shankar. They're gonna be subtracting him from all the TV productions.
That's good. That's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're gonna need to call him Subtracti Shankar at this point.
Yeah. He's gonna have to find himself a production studio that's called like Subtracting Works, because that a minus and a minus makes a positive. You know.
People used to say he would addy a lot to the show's production. Now they're saying he's a bit of a detriment. You could say Subtracti Shankar is what I'm saying, you know?
I get it, yes. I get what you mean.
That was my one joke for the week.
That's good.
I thought about it. I was on my way to Tesco's earlier, and I was listening to a podcast where they were talking about Adi Shankar, and I was like, Adi Shankar, they're probably going to want to call him Subtracti Shankar at this point.
Yeah.
And subtract, because they'll be subtracting him from the productions of TV shows. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, yeah.
Exactly.
It is very funny. That tweet is very funny of him like saying how Asmongold is like the
he was glazing him a lot. He was really glazing.
Very weird.
You know what's crazy about Asmongold? And this is completely separate from all of the abhorrent politics and his discussion points and everything.
More like Asmund Bronze, because he's so bad. I don't know.
What's crazy is that he really does look like the personification of like a rat in human form.
A little bit, yeah.
Like he just looks perfectly. Like if you were to cast a rat that got magically transformed into a person.
Yeah.
You would be like, I need the typecast Asmongold as the human rat.
Ratty, like guy that's just kind of like he's a henchman, but he's like runs away, you know, constantly. He never stays, and you know, he's like not degenerate, but like
he's got
unreliable.
He's got dark beady eyes.
Yeah.
And a gaunt face.
Yes, boss. And then
it would be perfect if his like two front teeth were just like longer, a little more like longer, maybe like buck teeth kind of thing. Yeah. But anyway, he's becoming friends with old Subtracti, and it seems like I don't know, maybe he'll be in season 2, man.
Yeah,
They announced the season 2. Yeah, they had a poster. Devil May Cry season 2 confirmed, and on it says from the visionary mind, Eddie Shankar.
We should watch it. No,
I would rather not.
I don't care enough about watching it.
I don't even care about Devil May Cry that much. Like, Devil May Cry is cool, but I've played like the first 3. That's it, maybe.
I haven't played any when I think about it.
They're good. I mean, you played God Hand, didn't you? You like God Hand.
I God Hand was fun. Yeah.
God
is it the same?
Cool
is it supposed to be like a same designer
but
or
it's
something?
got. No, well, they're both Capcom games. I think they're tonally pretty similar.
But can you kick people in the balls like in God Hand?
No.
Oh well, that's
even. I mean, maybe not even tonally. So I don't know. They just have a similar sort of vibe a little bit. I think Devil May Cry is more sincere.
Yeah.
God Hand's very silly.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. There's like I don't know.
Devil May Cry is also silly though. So.
The most I've seen is of the newer game, the DMC
5,
with the guy you can rev the sword or whatever. Like that's the one that I saw the most of. I just never went back and like looked over that series because it like combo games never attract me. Like games where you combo
character action.
Yeah, I'm just like I don't know. I never
cool.
like that sort of thing where it's just like I don't care for it. Basically, what I'm saying.
I had a big period of enjoying them. But I think it was mostly influenced because I would watch the Super Best Friends and listen to their podcast, and they would talk about that show all the time. So I wanted to get into it.
You were
but it never stuck too well.
I'll play the game my favorite creators play, and then you're like,
my favorite internet people.
My favorite internet people that are
no,
best
I liked
friends.
Them.
I know. I'm not saying you don't like them.
I liked Bayonetta. I had Bayonetta on the PS3 when it came out. That game was awesome. Bayo 2 on the Wii U. Didn't play Bayo 3.
I've played a bit of Bayonetta for some reason at some point.
It's a fun game.
Did it came to Xbox at one point?
Yeah, it was on Xbox.
Yeah, I might have played it in like a demo of it or something. I feel like playing demos on Xbox.
Actually, I think I played it on Xbox and not PS3.
Xbox.
Probably would have been Xbox.
Live.
Anyway, what do you hope Eddie Shankar will be working on next? What do you think his next big project should be?
What's that other Netflix show that was pretty successful? Devil Crybaby or whatever.
Devil Man Crybaby. You want him to do a new adaptation of Devil Man?
I want him to make a season 2.
A season 2, despite the fact that that one was supposed to kind of encapsulate the entire story of the Devil Man comic.
I'm pretty sure you can extend it with his
He'll
vision.
find a way. Yeah.
He'll find a way.
He'll find a way. Make the characters go like,
make
what
it
the
good
fucking fuck?
This time.
Yeah, I'm the fucking devil fucking man over here. People are calling me the fucking crybaby. What the fuck?
And we're gonna make it neon. Make it neon.
I'd like to see him do a live action Chainsaw Man. I think. Like a live action Western adaptation of Chainsaw Man
that makes animations makes a live action.
He doesn't make animation.
He uses people. He's a puppet master. He takes the animators and he makes them do the good stuff. Like that's the cool thing about creatives like that is that
you're not aware of what animation is for.
They're the the actual idea makers, and all the peons beyond them, under them, don't actually put anything.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man. That's not what animation is for. Okay. Animation is is a proving ground, so the people can graduate from developing animation project into real like movies and TV shows,
a film, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I think he's proven himself with Castlevania. Captain Laserhawk. And is that what it's called? It's called Captain Laserhawk, isn't it?
I think so, yes.
Right? The blood dragon thing. And now Devil May Cry, he's proven himself. I think he's ready for the big leagues, the real movies. The real TV shows.
And you want him to do a Chainsaw Man adaptation.
Yeah, I think it should be Chainsaw Man. I think he'd be really good at it. Could you imagine the kind of awesome dialogue Denji would have?
Yeah. You'd be like, I'm
And
a
power,
fucking Chainsaw Man.
He'd be like, I want to fucking fuck. I was so poor, now I want to fucking have fucking sex.
He's, I want to bang so much. I want to come. And then
Pochita is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I want to I wish I was Penis Man instead.
Yeah.
Why'd I have to be Chainsaw fucking Man, huh?
Yeah.
What the fucking shit fuck? Holy fucking cunting shit fuck. I'm Chainsaw Man. And then all of the devils.
The C word, man.
And then all of the devils can be like allegories for anybody who isn't white, I guess.
I guess, yeah. You could have them
that's what they did in the
like
Devil May Cry, right?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that's what they did.
The demons are like refugees or something.
Yeah, it's
awesome. I didn't see it.
It's not political at all, in my opinion.
Oh, it's very political.
People are overreacting. I don't know.
It's very political.
No. He would never do that. But, he just some people just want to make art, And if we don't like that art, we can't do anything about it, They get to make it, and if it's successful, he got the second season now, so it's like, well, what can you do?
What can you do?
Maybe people, like, that's the thing, right? It's like, if you make like art, I guess, and you don't agree with it, maybe some people are like, I don't care about all this like dark stuff that you're talking about, all this like
there are plenty of people who don't give a fuck, man,
and they'll watch it anyway. So it's like,
there's plenty of people who just watch Devil May Cry because they saw it and they were like, this looks cool.
And I've heard
never
about
played
Devil
these
May Cry.
games. And then they see it and they're like, that was pretty sick. But they don't realize the true nature of it.
The dark underbelly of the animation.
The dark underbelly of Subtracti Shankar. That could be my new character, Subtracti Shankar.
He's yeah.
Every time, he's like, the gag is that he's always pitching like really bad adaptations.
He's like negative colored,
Yeah.
He's like a negative.
What?
It's like, when you negative, like, what's it called? Like chroma key the colors or whatever. And it's like all opposite. No, it doesn't matter.
This is Dead Ensigns, the #1 Eddie Shankar fan podcast. We love it all. We love his work on the 2 shows we already mentioned.
Is this
I watched the first season of Castlevania.
I also watched the first season of Castlevania. Is this the only thing he worked on? Is the Castlevania? And
I was reading something. This was 9 years ago as well that it was posted on Reddit. So it's a little more trustworthy, right? But somebody was saying I worked for him, and he would like his thing was basically like, they would fund like a little bit of movies. Like if they needed like an extra couple million, they would get a loan of like a couple million and then give it to the movie. And then they get put on, because he was an executive producer for The Grey, Dread. Everybody loved Dread, right? Killing Them Softly. Gangs of Wasai Per. I don't know what that is. Broken City, Lone Survivor. He's been the producer on a lot of films, but it's like, outside of that, I don't think he's done much.
He did Dread, man.
No, but
Carl
he didn't
Urban.
do... That's the thing. So they'll say, like, we helped make Dread, We were the executive producer on Dread. But in reality, according to this Reddit post I read, he donated, like, a couple million of its budget. I say donated. He paid for like 2 million of the film. Which isn't real work, if you ask me. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true. Just providing means of creation is not actually making the things, right?
And then he has all this stuff of like the bootleg universe where they just make shorts based on pre-existing properties that they don't have access to or own. And then Castlevania, the Captain Laserhawk, Devil May Cry.
It isn't. Yeah, Captain Laserhawk is here. Yeah.
He's apparently making a PUBG TV show. I'm Ben, and this is Max, by the way. Number one Eddie Shankar fans.
Yeah. How would you make a story out of PUBG? I guess
That's a
that's the
very good
challenge,
question.
right?
What
That's the
happens in
challenge.
PUBG? I've never
You
played
just
it.
you just make a fucking like basically you just make Battle Royale the movie again, you know, like the original Battle Royale, because that's what the idea came from. The PUBG idea came from Battle Royale.
And as
the
we all
movie.
know, that came from the Hunger Games.
That's true. It wasn't the other way around, you know.
Well, if you want to
But-
know what a PUBG TV show will be like, keep an eye out for Eddie Shankar's PUBG.
Is that the only thing you've been consuming this week? Is Adi Ankara or whatever, and his list
Subtracti
of
Shankar.
Subtracti Shankara?
That is
Or
not
is
all
there
I've
anything
been
else?
doing this week. I've rewatched on my PTA Paul Thomas Anderson watching through films.
Yeah.
I rewatched There Will Be Blood. I've
Okay.
seen it a couple of times
That's
before.
pretty
This is
cool.
one of the ones of his that I had seen before already.
Yeah.
and
I've
it's
seen it a while
I mean,
ago at this point.
what can you say about this movie? It's
Yeah.
perfect.
It is
What more
truly
can I say?
a really good movie. And
It truly is a really good film.
It truly is a really good movie.
It truly
It
is one of the best.
One of the movies of the time, you know.
Truly
Did it
is
win-
a movie. From
Did it win
2007.
anything?
Daniel Day-Lewis won Best Actor at the Academy Awards for it. It was nominated for Best Film of the Year, but it
Did
lost.
Lost out to what?
No Country for Old Men.
Stiff
There's worse
competition.
films you could lose to.
Yeah.
What a
But,
movie.
yeah.
What more
What
can
do you
say
think?
about
Do you think like oil is cool? Do you think now? Like crude oil, pulling
Yeah,
it out of the ground and stuff.
I always thought oil was cool.
Yeah.
That's why I watched the movie.
Yeah. You were
They
like
said
you
there
were-
will be blood, and I was like, well, I don't care about blood. But then somebody told me, no, it's about oil. And I was
It's
like,
like- Yeah.
So I watched it. And it didn't disappoint.
You were like
There's a lot of oil.
Everybody comes in for the performance of Daniel Day-Lewis, you know, the Oscar-worthy performance. But you're like, I just want to see the oil perform, you know.
I came in for the performance of the beautiful chemistry that happens under our feet every day.
And we
The
get
creation of natural fuels.
and the brave men that pull it out of the ground.
And the brave men who died pulling it out of the ground because it innovates. Oil is important to our society.
Oil is indeed very important.
And,
and we should,
Daniel
continue.
Plainview is a hero in my book. I think at the end of the film, he's got it made. He's got a big house. Doesn't have to do
Yeah.
anything else because he's got all of his oil wells.
He has a bowling alley
Producing.
too.
He has
right?
a damn bowling alley.
That's insane. Like who who doesn't want a bowling alley in his house?
That's like that went away. I feel like the having a bowling alley in your house is like an early 20th century rich guy idea
Yeah.
that got replaced with home cinema.
True.
I think
Well-
the home bowling alley slowly got pushed out of the zeitgeist for the idea of a home, like a big, proper home cinema, you know?
Yeah. But I also feel like there was a time where it was like a cool idea to have that, because like around in like the early 2000s where you had like you
No,
know
I'm not saying it was like
Pimp-
immediate. I'm just
Pimp
saying
My-
it was phased out over time.
like Pimp My Ride sort of like area of time where like rich people would get like bowling alleys and like and stuff like that in their house because it was all so extremely tacky, but they had just so much money they could get anything they wanted, you know.
Nowadays,
And it's like
nowadays,
minimalism is like cool now, you know. So they
people's
just don't-
idea of like a rich guy house, TikTok room.
yeah, exactly.
TikTok room for TikToks.
Yeah.
Making them, watching them, could be both. TikTok room
What sort of furniture do you have in the TikTok room?
Roblox room.
Roblox room?
Yeah, it's like a room with like a bunch of Roblox TV, like computer setups, you know,
Just
a
a-
couple
just a-
iPads.
Just a computer that just has Roblox installed on it, that's it?
No, multiple computers with
Ah.
Roblox installed. And
You have
some
your
iPads,
friends over,
maybe.
I guess, to play
Yeah,
Roblox?
exactly.
You have a Minecraft
Exactly. You know what?
room?
They got Minecraft, they got Roblox, and they got Fortnite on them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your
Minecraft
gaming
room.
room.
Yeah.
That's your gaming room. I think, speaking of Minecraft, Notch had it best with the candy room, right?
That's true.
Is
yeah.
anybody going to top the candy room?
Nobody, and I can't imagine the number of creatures that live in those candy dispensers now. That there's all the candy stuck and fused together because of lack of movement.
You
like-
really can't be mad about Notch, man.
No, I don't know, man.
Like, he's a piece of shit, but also he literally just made like a really shitty game and then sold it. He flipped it for like 2 billion.
You can't say it was a shitty game.
It was
I'm really
it was
sorry, man.
a good attempt for
Just
a guy who
because something's
had no
popular,
idea.
It doesn't mean it's bad.
It was a
okay?
good attempt for a guy who had no idea how to make a video game, is what I mean.
I don't know, man. I feel like you're.
I think you're
I'm
looking at old
sorry.
Minecraft with rose tinted glasses, because that shit did not work well for basically like 7 years.
I don't know, man.
You
I
never
feel-
played Java Minecraft on your browser? That shit was dog ass.
Java Minecraft on the browser was a fucking concept. Like, it was a concept project. Like, it wasn't meant to even work correctly. Like, then he released like the Java edition of the game, and it was a fine game. You know, I don't know,
That
man.
shit was busted, man.
I feel like you're just trying to take Notch down a peg.
Why are you
Right
trying
here.
to defend him so? He doesn't need you glazing him. He got
'Cause
$2
I
billion
because I
for
wanna
flipping the game.
Get at his candy machines, okay, man?
You wanna
Like,
get
I
in that
want to
candy
get him. Yeah, I want to get to the Notch's candy room.
Say it,
You
say it
know?
out loud. Say, I want to be in Notch's candy room.
I want to be in Notch's candy room. That's the
Damn,
reason.
that
why.
sounds like a euphemism for having sex with him.
Exactly.
Let me
you
at
know?
his candy room.
Yeah. It's like
Let me
eating
in
his
that candy
ass, I
room.
feel like, specifically,
Ooh, let
too.
me in Notch's candy room, baby. Ooh, it smells.
It smells, and it's all sticky.
You think
in
he had
too.
sex in the candy room?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's possible.
Probably not.
I don't think his wife divorced him, and I don't know. I don't want.
There's got to be better places to have sex in your super mansion, I guess.
Than the candy room. Maybe
Yeah.
he's got a bowling alley. We don't even know.
Probably is a bowling alley.
In the bowling alley.
Anyway, there will be blood. Notch was kind of the Daniel Plain view of gaming, if you think about it.
It's true. He tapped that well of voxel-based explorer, like not procedurally, randomly generated. Procedurally, I would guess, because you do have landscapes that have an idea to them. It isn't completely random. Worlds, exploration, building, creativity, and and because he was the first, he was able to just maintain that for a really long time. He was able to sap, because you would play any of the older like rip-offs, and you would go like, I just could be playing Minecraft,
He'd just
And
sit
then-
there, and then after like a year of development, they'd be like, here's some trees.
Yeah,
We
we're
made
adding
a new mob.
we're adding one like oxalot or whatever they added, or like this.
No, that was after he left.
Yeah, but they're still doing that.
Yeah, they
they're
still do it
just
like
doing one thing in a year,
And back then it was like they did the Nether, and you're like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
damn, I can't wait to see what's next. And then it was basically nothing.
Yeah, it was nothing. But then they had the ender. They added an ending to the game, which is
Well,
because like that's the thing.
I don't know
like,
if I'd call it an ending.
you can't sell a product to a different company unless it has an ending, and that's why
It's more that
Notch
they added
had to-
survival, and it was like, what am I surviving for? What's the end goal? And then they were like, well, here's a dragon for you to kill. And then you kill the dragon, and then it's like, that was all you did.
It's like asking why you want to survive in real life, man. For the sake of
I
experiencing
didn't want to
the
survive
world
at
around.
all, man. I just wanted to build.
Yeah, and that's
I
the
get
thing.
having like HP. I didn't need to eat food in that game.
You need to understand that you need to face adversity, even in the fake
was
world of
already adversity.
Minecraft, to create, to truly create meaningful things, But anyway, Minecraft. We're just gonna start a new Let's Play. Minecraft Let's Play. Me and Ben. We're gonna do audio only from now on.
I'm trying to give you the silent treatment,
and we're gonna do an entire Let's Play audio only podcast version of Minecraft.
That would be interesting.
And it would be just the noises of our keyboards.
Possibly the worst idea anybody has ever had, I guess.
Yeah, and you would just it'd just be no talking whatsoever as we're just wandering around making.
There would be talking. It would be like nobody would have any bearing on it. It'd just be like, I'm getting coal, and then you'd be like, cool, I'm gonna go get some wood, and then we'd maybe have a couple conversations. And
the interesting thing would be, what we would do is we would provide this seed that we used, and what people would start doing is they would map our positions within the world somehow. Through
that doesn't make any sense.
Audio, they would make like a map, and they would track us where Ben and Max is and where they're going and then at the end of the playthrough, we'll release the world and we'll see how accurate people were at the end. From the predictions of only by audio cues, how they could track us in the game. That would be interesting. It's like GeoGuessr, but like stupid,
This is the worst idea I think I've ever heard anybody describe.
No, I feel like I feel like it would be pretty good.
This is like this sounds terrible.
I feel like people would get really into it. I feel like it would be like the new rock and roll, We're inventing a new genre of entertainment where it's not even podcasting anymore. It's gameplay through audio, okay?
Audio based.
Let's play. Because that's the thing. When you look at Let's Plays, you gotta have it open on your screen. So how are you supposed to watch Let's Plays in your car while you're driving to work? You can't do it.
I think most people will just because every car has like a big iPad console in the middle of it now, so I think people just load it up on there. Like
they say, it's all computer. They say it.
Did you ever hear about that one cop in America that ran over a guy on a bike while he was watching Asmongold videos on the big iPad in his fucking cop car?
I've not heard of that.
He killed him. They died.
It's a good way to go, honestly. Like, out of all the ways to go, I feel like it's one of the better ways to go.
I don't think I agree with that at all. I think that's maybe like...
Because
I think that's maybe the most depressing thing about
it's that Asmongold then will react to the video of you getting murdered by someone, and then you're famous, you get immortalized that way because so many people watch Asmongold,
A lot of people do watch that guy, right?
Exactly,
I didn't know who he was until he showed up he had like an E3 show or something one year, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
I said
they were like, it's Asmongold. He's like a huge video game YouTuber, Twitch guy, and I was like, I've never heard of this guy in my life.
I feel
this
like
dude did not exist before last month. I don't believe you.
Heard of him, and I knew that he was like a guy, and I heard he was like a WoW creator or whatever. But I'm not into WoW, so I never watched him.
Why? Yeah, because I don't care about WoW either. So
and the thing about it is that like he started seeping into like my feed for stuff more when he started getting more political. So that's good, right? That means that's the way to go, right? You wanna to expand your audience, you just start like talking, like reacting to political stuff, and then
I think the thing that pisses me off is that everybody
seems to be working.
Everybody acknowledges that he lives in filth and squalor.
Yeah,
and he's like a dirty man and is disgusting. But they keep using that to dunk on him. But it's like he seriously doesn't care.
He doesn't care. It doesn't matter.
I think he's actively playing it up for the view.
Yeah. It's got
It's
dead
it
rat.
feels like I just kept seeing that video where he takes a drink from water and then he's like, "Ew," and he takes a sip of soda instead, and it's such bad acting, but people treat it like, oh my god, this dude is so far gone. He thinks water is disgusting.
But it's like rage
It's
bait
like,
stuff, you know?
yeah, that's what
Where
I'm saying. It's like he's just baiting you, bro.
Yeah, but
He
it's
got
like
your ass. We can't let him get away with this. He's stupid.
because
We
I
can't
feel
let
like
him
it's
do
the
this to us.
it's the symptom of like, you know how old people on social media respond, they see content or like see posts and they respond to the post as if it's directed at them, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a early onset stuff of that, you know, where people are like, I need to respond to this because this is directed at me.
Do you think it's
specifically.
like some kind of early onset dementia? Is people seeing a YouTube video and thinking that it's like a Zoom call?
Yeah, yes, and I need to respond to this, you know. I need to engage with this because they're saying this to me, you know. So
I can see that, sure.
Yeah,
I can get that.
That's my thesis. I'm gonna make that into a
Gold,
white
that's
paper.
your thesis, but he smells like feces because he lives in the disgusting
Jesus
home.
Christ,
Everybody,
man, come on.
swish,
Well,
swish.
you know.
Can you get done for libel for saying somebody probably smells?
I don't know.
I know. I think
I'm
you're safe. I think
curious.
you're safe in that.
I
I think
think,
that's
like,
a safe thing to say.
I feel like if he like sues you over it, I'm pretty sure you can get like done for libel. Maybe.
I don't think that's the case. So I think for libel, you also need to be. I don't know. Let me look it up.
we need to
Looking
ask
up
our lawyer
libel.
if someone's if
A
can I
published
be-
false statement that is damaging to a person's reputation. No.
It sounds like it. To me, it sounds like
Defame
damaging his
someone by publishing a libel. We didn't publish it. I guess we publish it, but it's not written.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, I don't think that's how it works. I don't think it needs.
I
It's
don't
only
think
in
that's
writing.
damaging to a person's reputation to
'cause I'm
say
pretty
that
sure-
I think he probably smells. I don't think that's damaging to a person's reputation. That doesn't make
He
any
has
sense.
because he would have to sue you and then prove the fact that what you said has affected people's opinion of him, basically. And if I guess it's a general opinion that he smells, then yeah, I guess you could quote that, defend yourself that way, right? You just go like, people in general think that you smell, so I'm not damaging your opinion, like your reputation much.
yeah, it's like I feel safe saying that because his reputation largely online is living in squalor, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I feel I'm pretty safe in saying
But what
that,
if you walked into the room and you just like he smelled like roses? He like smelled really nice, and then you're
He
like,
might,
"Ooh."
I don't know.
Would you felt bad?
I
Would you
don't
feel
think it's
bad?
even a big deal that he smells. To be
Would you
completely
feel bad
honest.
for Asmongold though? If that was would you for what you said?
No, he's far richer than me just by going onto Twitter and saying that he hates Palestinians. So I don't
That's
really give a
true.
fuck about how he feels about anything.
Well,
You know.
okay.
Do you?
But anyway.
would you care?
About what?
Would you care if you said something bad about him and then he turned up in the room and you felt as though it was not true?
Yeah, I would. I would be like, oh wow, maybe I was wrong. You know, I
Yeah, you're
spread
weaker than
lies.
me. I also
would
watched
be-
The Virtues this week. I rewatched The Virtues with Stephen Graham, different guy.
Stephen
Not
Merchant.
Wrong
Yeah,
guy.
and-
It's a good show. I rewatched it because of the Stephen Graham stuff. It's it's a depressing one. There's a lot of sad stuff in there. It's who would have expected another show in which Stephen Graham is depressing?
He's depressing.
Am I
What is
right?
The Virtues about? What is the show about?
Virtues is about a man who's
Of virtue.
just trying to live his life, and he's clearly got some dark secret within him that is eating him up. He's divorced. He's got like a very simple job, and his ex-wife and his son moving to Australia and he's fine with it. He's okay with it. He's very accommodating, and he respects it, you know. But it triggers a relapse into alcoholism for him.
Oh.
And it also triggers memories that he had kept buried for a very long time.
Okay.
So he travels back to Ireland, where he's originally from. He ran away from like a boys' home, you know, for orphans. And along the way, it turns out he had a sister who did get adopted, and she thought he was dead for the last 30 years and stuff. And it's just a good show. It's available on Channel 4. It was all on there. It was from
Where
2019.
can our
It's 4
American viewers
episodes.
see it? Huh?
I don't know. I don't live in America. Google
I
it.
feel like the
I don't
purchase
live
was too
there. What do you want me to say?
I don't think because like that's the thing because there will be tariffs on it now.
What am I supposed to do? I've never ever listened to a podcast by American people where they talk about a show and then afterwards and go and say, "Oh well, if you're international, you can watch it here," because they don't give a fuck. They don't give a single shit about us. And I'm supposed to give a shit about them now? Oh, what? Because of their tariffs? They elected the guy.
Yeah, that's true. He did say he was going to.
He said he was going to do it, and unfortunately, I'm sorry to the people who didn't vote for him, but the rest of them did. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
what can you do? Google it. You'll probably find it somewhere. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you.
Anything else? Do you seen the Virtues? How many episodes is it?
It's 4 episodes.
It's like a TV show, right?
It's
a
3
mini-series.
episodes that are 45 minutes, and then the final episode is like an hour and 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. It's not that much.
It's a thumbs up. Check it out. And lastly, The Pit finished this week, the first season.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
It started in January, ended now. Dude, this is a return to form for classic television. I don't just mean in like the show itself, but also the fact that it's going to be coming out hopefully regularly.
Yeah. Maybe
Which feels crazy still.
it is funny that like that's like novel, you know? Like
It really
like,
is. Like, because you think about fucking Stranger Things and shit like that. It really normalized this idea that you'll watch a season of a TV show and then you'll wait like 2 years to see any more. And I'm not saying in like a pounding the table, I want more now, I need my content immediately, but rather like, because shows in general are just really weirdly paced these days. You get all episodes for the last fucking 10 years or whatever. They would dump all episodes online at once of a season. Yeah. And then there wouldn't be anything else again for like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
And then it'd come back and they'd expect you to just be like, all right, keep going now. It's back. The story's continuing.
Like Severance was a big one for me because I was like, what the fuck happened in the first season? I was like, what the fuck happened? I was like, I don't remember.
Was fucking harsh. And at least they had the good grace to release an episode a week, you know?
Yeah.
The Pit, 1 episode a week. And it's going to be back in January.
Yeah.
And they're saying the plan is back every January. Mm-hmm. As long as people keep watching it.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like people are watching it because every episode is rated very highly online. And apparently the numbers are incredible for the streaming. It's like millions of views for each episode.
I wonder if that's going to like...
HBO Max.
Kind of increased longevity of shows. I do feel like, you know, because of the kind of social media stuff that comes with like content and stuff. Will it kind of extend that where people are going to be engaged in the show for longer and then just like they consume it and then they kind of move on immediately rather than just having like, oh, I'll watch you watch the episode for the week, you kind of discuss it, you think about it, you know, you get to kind of digest it more, you know, rather than just binge it all at once, you know.
I think it's certainly something that I think we didn't know we had it good, you know. Mm-hmm. It was novel, the idea that Netflix, oh, they're making their own TV shows and they're pretty good and they're just like all out at once, so you don't have to wait. You can just go into the next episode. Gave birth to the binge watching idea, right?
Yeah.
But now, you know, it comes around and you realize like people are burning through content.
Yeah, they're burning through content and they're not the creators are not getting time to kind of make stuff on top of that, because like people consume things too
and then
quickly.
when it comes time to like discussing it, when you have your water cooler chat at work, you know, you just blitz through it so quickly, and then next week you got nothing.
Yeah, you have like you're trying to talk and you got like Fred and you've watched it already, and then like Bob comes around and Bob watched like the first episode, you know, and you're like fuck off, Bob, you know, get the fuck out of the way, you know. I want to talk to Fred about the fucking show,
exactly,
and you're being a slow bitch, you know.
It's
why
like
the fuck haven't you binged the show? And he's like, I have like family, I have kids, you know, I can't just sit and Fred, you gang up on him, you know, you face him, and you're like, get the fuck out of our faces right now, because what the fuck are you doing, you know?
So what else do you talk about, man?
What else?
The Marathon trailer? Not Marathon 2. You talk about how Marathon looks?
Yeah. It looks...
Because that's like a one-sentence conversation.
Exactly.
Looks kind of boring.
It looks like an extraction shooter, you know?
Well, I guess we're going back to work.
Yeah, that's it.
The chat died.
Now I actually have to be productive, you know? And I don't want to be productive. I want to talk to people in my work, you know, instead of being productive.
But hopefully the Pit is going to bring us back. I'd recommend it. It was a great series. Because this is the thing, it does work with both. It's great to watch week by week. But I can imagine maybe later on in the year I might rewatch it. And since it's supposed to be one continuous shift, you know.
Yeah.
You'll get like an interesting experience by watching it in large sittings, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Because each episode flows right into the next one, you know? It's like 24. So it just goes and goes and goes for 15 hours.
So is it one cut or whatever? It's like
no, it's not
cuts?
one cut.
Okay.
You imagine a 15-hour single cut TV. I don't think you could... You'd have to change out memory storage like multiple times. I don't think that works.
Yeah. Someone has to do it someday.
Somebody's got to do it.
It's just called live streaming, I'm pretty sure. But One Cut of the Dead did it. But that was just an hour. That was just a movie. And that was live stream. Well, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, no, it's a good show. Great acting. Great performances. Good rating, you know. It's just a good old-fashioned medical drama TV show. What more could you want?
Did you learn about decapitation and
no, the fucked up one I learned. They do a lot of intubation in that show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess
they're shoving breathing tubes in people a lot. Second, floating face. That one fucked me up. That was in like episode 2 or 3 or something.
What's that one?
That's where like the front of your skull breaks. So it just kind of like sits on top of the fucking meat and stuff. And there's a horrible shot where, profile, right? Guy laying down his injury. He was like a bike messenger or like an Uber Eats guy or something.
Yeah.
Went into like a car door that opened in front of him, flipped over, landed on his face, right? Smash.
No helmet.
I think he had a helmet.
Okay, don't know. Yeah,
can't remember. Either way, shot, profile, him laying down, right? Face up. One of the doctors, 2 fingers, right? Hook underneath the top jaw, right?
Yeah.
Onto the soft palate, pull upward, and the effects in this show are great because you see the fucking front of the face go, you know, he pulls it up like a little bit. It's fucked, dude. It's a good show. I'd recommend it. Best part, no Subtracti Shankar.
No.
No, it's a good show. I'd recommend it.
Maybe
And
they'll get him on the next season, you know.
I'm
Do the
excited for
animation.
The Pit season 2.
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's coming in a year.
Mm-hmm.
And very moving at the end. It doesn't have like a huge finish or anything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think makes sense because it's all supposed to be like one. The last, you know what? The last 4 episodes are the big finish essentially because there's a big event, there's a big like tragedy that they have to deal with. So that means there's lots of people coming into the ER, into the emergency room.
So there's like a huge. Okay, yeah, and they have to
and they have
deal
to-
with a
yep, they have
huge
to deal
influx of people, basically.
Exactly. And
Ben rates the show 10 cc's out of 10, right? That's what they
Don't
say.
talk
They
to-
say
don't
like
talk for
they,
me, motherfucker.
They say like cc's, right? They'd say like we need 20 cc's of morphine or something.
I give
like
it.
that, right?
I give it 5.
Floating faces.
No, I give it. No, you know what? I give it 10 attempts at resuscitation out of 10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There you
So
go.
is that's bad then? Because if you need to attempt to resuscitate someone 10 times, I'm pretty sure they're gone at that
No,
point.
it means I want it so bad that I'm trying to resuscitate them
Really
10
trying.
times.
That's true. Well,
There was a lot of, you know, there's politics in there as well. There's some politics. There's some people they don't like the masks.
they're like, we need
There's some
to-
people they don't like the vaccines. You know?
They're like, all the doctors are like, God damn, we need to privatize the medicine even more. You know?
I'd say if anything, there's a bit of an opposite message. Maybe
No,
they don't
you
really go into the cost and billing of a lot of
You
stuff.
mean you mean those liberal writers that wrote the show? They're
It's a bit of a lib show, man. It's a bit libbed out. There's a bit in the last couple episodes where there's like a kid with measles, and they're like, "We need to do a spinal tap with a needle on him," and the
Spinal tap.
anti-vaxxer parent is like, "I don't want that happening."
Okay.
And they're like,
Because-
if we don't do it, then your child might never walk again because of the measles. And she's like, no, the needles are bad.
let it happen. She goes, let it happen. You know?
They want to take him to a different hospital. It's a good
Wow.
show. I'd recommend it. Give it a thumbs up. I give it a needle up.
Horrible.
You know, they squirt out the air. They have to do the little squirt to get the air out.
Yeah,
Level
it's always used in movies to kind of show that someone knows what they're doing. In a way, they're like, "Ooh, he knows what he needs to do for medicine," you know. But yeah, I've watched a bunch of movies, a lot of kind of all over the place.
Should
in
we
terms
we'll segue into your week with the film that I watched and recommended to you, and then you watched the next day as well. They came together.
What did I watch? Oh,
They
I
came
forgot about
together.
that. I forgot
You don't have to
about
talk
that
a lot about it.
movie.
But it's a good spoof. It's a good spoof movie, though.
I forgot about that movie at this point.
That's fair. I mean, it's just it's just like a comedy parody.
Yeah,
film. I'm just more using it as a segue than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was
a funny
it was pretty funny. It's like the thing about it is that like I didn't like, you know, when you mentioned that movie and then I looked at the cast and I was like, oh, these are like the same people, right, that made what's the camp movie? All American
Wet
Summer?
Hot
or whatever.
American Summer.
I didn't really like that movie that much either.
No.
I like this one a little bit better, honestly. Although I don't know, it's so weird because like people tend to like All Hot American Summer better than this. I don't know.
think I prefer Wet Hot American Summer.
It just
movie.
I feel
I
like
haven't
it's
seen
the
the
type
TV
of humor that's like I like jokes, you know, I like the jokes, but I feel like to make an entire movie, you know, of these sort of jokes. That they're just all kind of sketches, you know? They're all just kind of like little sketches throughout the entire show, throughout the entire movie. Just not that, like, not that into it, basically.
You're a
but I enjoyed it.
sad man.
I don't know, you know, I'm just
You're a
saying.
sad son of a bitch. What else did you do this week, Max?
It's what what the I thought you were gonna say something about the movie. You didn't say anything. Now you're just like backing away.
You're a
Like
sad motherfucker.
I like the bits.
You don't like to laugh, do you?
I like to
I
laugh.
love to laugh.
I like to laugh.
I like it. It's funny. I like Wet Hot American Summer. I hadn't heard of this film until last week, and somebody said like, yeah, it's the same people as Wet Hot American Summer. So I was like, oh, I should watch this then. And then I watched it, and I was like, that was funny. I like Paul Rudd, I like Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
A lot of other funny people in it too. It's got good jokes. Me personally, I love a joke, unlike Max.
Yeah, I hate
I don't care if a movie's just jokes. It's fine with me.
It's fine.
I
It's
give
a
it a
fine
thumbs up.
movie.
I give it a thumbs up.
I wouldn't have watched it unless Ben have recommended it for
You
me.
wouldn't watch shit if I weren't here.
What do you mean? I watched like
Your ass
6
would be
movies,
sitting there
I'm pretty
playing
sure.
fucking... You'd be
I've
like,
watched 6
here's time for my
movies.
7th playthrough of Death Stranding.
Yeah, I
this
finished
week.
Death Stranding. Like cinema, which is basically cinema, right? You gotta say that. And you finish Death Stranding and people are like, cinema. They post the meme.
Yeah. Absolute cinema. Yeah.
Absolute cinema.
Kino went away. People stopped fucking with Kino.
Kino, yeah. It's
Kino's
too foreign.
old hat.
It's
old
too
hat
foreign. Cinema is in right now. But finished Death Stranding, but that doesn't matter. I don't know. Maybe talk about it someday when you fucking play it. But
I did say I wasn't going to play it for a bit.
Yeah, I watched a movie called Sherry 2000,
Sure.
which is a movie about a guy who has a android like robot wife and
That's cool.
wife. It's basically a sex bot,
My
basically,
wife.
and it's so dumb. Like the inciting incident of the movie is that they start like they're in the kitchen, they start making out, and then on the floor, and then the machine that automatically kind of like it washes the dishes, like it's not a dishwasher, it's like some auto sink or whatever you want to call it, like starts overspilling, and she short circuits at that time, and he basically, what happens is that the movie turns into a quest where he needs to find a new body for this because he loves her, he loves her as even though she's an android, he loves her. And then the movie ends up with him finding the body, but he falls in love with a lady that helps him find the body. And I was like, what is the message of this movie? Is that the people shouldn't fall in love with robots, and like they should choose real women, I guess?
It's like her, but kind of stupid.
Kind of stupid. Yeah, I think it was her would be ripping this off, I guess, because this is from like the 80s.
Well,
basically.
what I mean.
But it's like
elevated. Elevated.
I always like watching these sort of movies because like, what's the I'm trying to extract the message out of it. Like what is this about? Because it has like this implication of like society, kind of the male like women relationships deteriorating, basically, and then men kind of end up
very very applicable to these days with
I guess.
AI, right?
But what you gotta do is you gotta go on an adventure. Basically, the answer to that for the kind of isolation and loneliness epidemic, according to this movie, is you just gotta go on an adventure with a lady, and you'll fall in love with her, and she'll fall in love with you, and that's how you end up fixing the society nowadays, I guess.
I feel that's the kind of thing where it probably does work pretty well.
Probably.
It's
honestly.
like, how sometimes with depression, people will be like, well, you just need to like get up and do things and talk to people.
Yeah.
And when you're depressed, you hear that and you're like, that's bullshit. That doesn't work. I'm still sad. But then you do it and you're like, fuck, they were kind of right. I bet if you went on an adventure with somebody, you do kind of low-key start to be like, fuck, I'm kind of emotionally entangled to them now.
Yeah, and also probably a relationship.
I'm kind of feeling romantic intentions with them.
that sort of thing is probably not going to last long either way, because you might get out of that situation and start living a normal life afterwards.
Yeah, but that's
and
where
then
the
you
movie
realize,
ends, so who cares?
Yeah, exactly. So who cares? Yeah,
Who gives a fuck?
but
That's where the movie ends.
it was average, an average like like a 80s action flick. Mad Maxy, a little Mad Maxy, because they go into like the outer zone and
They go to
that's where it's-
Australia.
basically, yeah, and they drive around a muscle car and stuff like that. But so I watched that, and then I ended up watching They Came Together with as a suggestion from Ben. Didn't laugh. I just scowled the entire movie. Just chose not to laugh. I didn't want to.
I recommended it to torture you. I knew you wouldn't enjoy it.
Exactly.
I knew that you wouldn't turn down the recommendation, though. You'd be like, "Fuck." Now I'm obligated to watch this.
I'm obligated. Yeah.
Even though I'm miserable throughout the whole film.
Yeah, exactly. I was just sitting there. I was thinking, it was like,
Bill Hader is not making me laugh. Fuck.
God damn it! I need. Ben just wanted to hurt me by making me watch this movie.
God damn it! Ed Helms is so stupid.
Yeah.
I hate this.
And
I hate Amy Poehler.
She's not funny. Women can't be funny.
She was kind of funny in Parks and Rec, but not this movie. Arr.
Yeah, this movie.
And she was married to Will Arnett.
This movie would be funny if Chris Pratt was in it, you know?
True, it would honestly be kind of, instead of Paul Rudd, instead of Amy Poehler, it was Chris Pratt.
Yeah, it was Chris Pratt. And then instead of Chris Pratt was just everybody in this movie, I would have enjoyed. Yeah, exactly. I would enjoy it.
Bit of a clumps.
But
what else did you watch after that?
Later on, after trying to get rid of the aftertaste of They Came Together, I watched the Hourglass Sanatorium, which is like a classic kind of
you're like
psychedelic.
You're like Asmongold sipping on the water. That's you watching They Came Together. You're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Grab the soda.
The soda.
Polish movie.
Yeah.
That's good.
Exactly.
That's what I need.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's exactly what I did. Yes.
Exactly.
And
good
yeah,
movie?
I really enjoyed it. It's a very kind of like
again?
the Hourglass Sanatorium. It's a very kind of dreamy movie. It's
Hourglass Sanatorium.
Is a heavy watch at the same time. It does have like that sort of denseness to it that makes you tired basically after watching it. You're like,
Sure.
I've got a lot to digest after seeing this. Trying to kind of place the movie, like kind of make sense of the movie, because like the unusual thing about this movie is that it's based on a book of short stories. And these short stories that then get shoved into one movie, and they're all intertwined by a single character, So it's like he goes through like all these scenarios, different situations that kind of end up, like being so different from one another, that you're like, what's going on? It is a pretty dense movie.
Dude, I'm looking at this movie on Google.
Yeah.
I Googled it. The Hourglass Sanatorium. About section. 7.5 IMDb, 88% like this, filmed on Google users. Release date, 1st of January, 1 AD. What the hell?
Okay.
It's the oldest movie ever made, apparently.
It's the oldest movie.
Apparently the world's oldest movie, The Hourglass Sanatorium.
Are you sure this isn't like the AI section that popped
up?
No,
it's the About section on the right,
yeah.
dude. Director, I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm sorry.
Wojciech Jerzy Haas.
There you go. Latin, Hebrew, Polish, Yiddish.
Yeah, because
2 hours, 4 minutes.
It's got a lot of kind of... Jewish kind of culture in it at the same time. Like it's I would recommend it. It's a very weird movie. It makes there is a bit of a section that's a bit like involving kind of like some outdated language, I guess, at this point, but it's not all, it's just like a little blemish on the entire thing. The visuals are amazing. The set design, some of the set designs I was looking at, and I was like, "Fuck," like just the amount of work into that got put into making the sound stages, for this movie is just insane. Like just the filling out of the space, with people. Like there are scenes in the movie where there's like just so many people, and they're all wearing costumes, and they're all like it's so interesting and beautiful to look at, at the same time. And
the whole film is on YouTube. Let's fucking go.
I think it is. Yeah. I've seen it on YouTube. I have a Blu-ray of it, so I watched it on Blu-ray. But I actually I did end up starting it on YouTube because I was but then I got a gift of the Blu-ray, so I ended up finishing it on the restarting it and watching it in full on Blu-ray.
You were like mid-movie on YouTube, and somebody just hands you a wrapped gift, and you're like,
"Yeah," because I was talking. Because I was
watching this right now.
Yeah, I was literally talking to someone. Because I haven't finished it and stuff like that.
Now I have to pause this movie and get my Blu-ray player out.
So I to wash to wash that down on top of that, another to wash away that taste, of a horrible kind of like beautiful,
reaching for the even bigger soda cup.
Even now. I watched Bot Boy.
What the hell, man?
Which is a movie about a serial killer.
Boy? What
that I guess uses his asshole to commit the crime of murder, you could say, and it's interesting. It's an interesting concept.
Is it an interesting film?
Yeah, it is a very interesting film because it's played straight. It's played straight. It's like I do kind of appreciate that. It's like. It is a ridiculous kind of concept, but the idea.
Film. Please don't show me something weird. There you go. But 2019. Okay.
But it's a pretty indie film. Like you can kind of tell from watching it, the production, of it. But there is that idea. I guess it is kind of like this. Probably the base idea of like why this movie was created was like, what if there is that ridiculous concept of this killer, right? This someone that's like committing these heinous crimes, but this is the way he commits them, and then having a, of course, a noir detective sort of character trying to investigate these crimes, and then having to, the conclusion that comes out of those investigation is ridiculous, right? It's like, it's insane. And you're like, how am I supposed to fucking conduct like a proper investigation now where the conclusion is a guy is murdering people by shoving them up his ass, And it's like, and I appreciate the fact that it's like, I would recommend seeing it. I would be interested in maybe if you wanted to watch it, Ben, we could discuss it more. But it's like,
yeah, sure.
It is played pretty straight, Like there's very few like
a new
jokes.
Film out this year called Mermaid.
Yeah, it's Mermaid. Yeah, Mermaid. That's why I've heard of that movie, and then from that movie, I've heard the person talking about that movie mentioning this movie and recommending it, seeing it, So I was like, well, I'll give it a watch. Sounds ridiculous, even the title, is ridiculous. So I was like, I'll watch it, why not? And for such a ridiculous concept, it is executed quite well, like it isn't like we know what we are, like we are. They are the person, the director, Tyler Cornack, who's also the titular bot boy. Like he's the director, but he also plays the bot boy in the movie. wanted to make like an actual movie, you know, which is I'll recommend it. And you know, to wash that down even bigger challenge, like you said, I watch Kill It and Leave This Town, which is a Polish animated movie that was I think it was submitted to a bunch of like, you know, like I think it won the Golden Bears, I'm pretty sure, which is like the German festival. Okay. International Film Festival. It won a bunch of awards, and it is a very it's a. I've watched it yesterday, and I'm still kind of processing it, and it's a very heavy film because it is a very kind of it's a lot of, you know, like stream of consciousness stuff. Sure, where it's just, but it's animation, you know, so it isn't just like, it is someone animating their grieving, like process of their grief, you know, and it has this very kind of unique style to it on top of that, like, with like combining of like like actual animation with like some puppetry, you know, where you have like, but, it's hard to talk about, like, if like maybe if you've seen it, like, you know, maybe I would recommend you see it. It is animation after all, and that's what you do, and maybe it'll be interesting to hear your time. It would be interesting to hear your thoughts from an animator, you know, point of view, you know.
What was it called again?
Kill It and Leave This Town.
Okay. All right. I'll make a note of that too.
Yeah, and it's a very heavy film. Like
on YouTube. Fuck.
This is like an actual movie. And also,
the other one isn't an actual movie.
But the thing is that what's it called? The Hourglass Sanatorium was made under communism, where copyright didn't exist. So there isn't a company that owns, you know, like the rights to those works, like, you know, all the movies that I kind of mentioned to you before, like Obi Oba and Gaga. All those movies were made under a system that didn't protect these movies, right? They didn't. So therefore, when that system disappeared, there was, like, I think like they are owned by like an entity. I think they're owned by like a government, like archival, like film institutes. I think that they're owned by.
That's fine to me, to be honest.
So it's like you know, but the creators,
films and movies, TV shows were like that.
Yeah, but you know, the creatives don't get to see any of that money. You know, they don't get to see their kind of whatever, like, you know,
it goes into what, the taxes to pay for our damn healthcare.
Maybe actually that's true. I'm not sure how it
pays
works.
For our
maybe
roads
it goes into
and our public transport.
I hope it goes back into creating more movies. I hope if they do the re-releases and stuff, like the Hourglass Sanatorium, the Blu-ray. I'm actually curious where that money goes, right? Where is it like a publishing house that just takes old movies and they because it is like a digitalized version, like, right, they make like a 4K or whatever copy of it, you know. So it's like, where does that money go? Does it go to whatever, the Film Institute? Does it go to someone like, it just, someone gets that money, right? Some company that just does this, and someone just profits off of these works, you know. It would be an interesting kind of topic to look into, but yeah, I've been kind of all over the place when it came to kind of, you know, from they came, two of them came, or whatever that movie was called, to Sherry 2000, to a bunch of like psychedelic movies and classic stuff. But that's the way I like to watch movies, all over the place.
That's fair enough.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if you see any of these and what your opinions will be on them.
There may or may not. Excuse me, it's getting kind of late. There may or may not be an episode next week, so
yeah, that's true.
I guess we'll decide.
Be taking a break.
Because if there isn't an episode, then we got more time to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
If there is an episode, I'll probably try and catch one or two.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know.
You never know.
You never know, but until next time. I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Marathon some more?
There's nothing to talk about. It's a hero.
I'm just curious now, because the last couple episodes, the last like month of episodes have all been like an hour and a half. So now I'm instinctively feel like we're running short, even though I know we're not. This is what
we did over. Went over.
Exactly.
You know. I don't know. Like the only extraction shooter I'm into is Hunt Showdown, and I don't know. It kind of it looks more like Tarkov to me, and I'm not.
I liked Dark and Darker. It was fun to be like a stupid fantasy guy rummaging around a crypt.
I don't know if
trying
it's
to haphazardly do spells and shit. That was awesome.
We haven't played those in a while. I wonder if it's as, because it does, like Dark and Darker did feel a lot like a game that if people got good at it, you're fucked. Like you will not be able to play it. You know.
Well, they added lots more like various magic options. That all have their own weird, interesting way of doing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like they added a bard, and to do the bard stuff, you do play a little guitar hero sort of thing.
Because they did also win the lawsuit, right, against the company. It was dropped, basically, because
dismissed.
they had no basis on it, basically.
They added the warlock. And instead of having like a mana bar, they used their like health bar or something.
Oh, okay. That's
they
interesting.
did a druid with like actual shape shifting and stuff, so you could become like a bear and a rat and shit like that.
A rat. Yeah.
But more than that, I just liked how clunky it was.
Yeah.
It was janky in a fun way. But yeah, I haven't played it since they properly came out.
Yeah. We were supposed to, but we never ended up playing it.
Oh well.
Well, that's how the cookie crumbles.
Marathon is like... You know what I found interesting about Marathon?
Yeah?
Is I watched the cinematic first. I didn't pay any attention to it, but it was on Twitter, so I was like, I'll watch the cinematic here. I scrolled by it. It's like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And the cinematic is very interesting. It looks like a Harmony Korine fucking directed thing.
Yeah.
You know? It's all really vibrant and weird and feels very strange and alien artistically, you know, design-wise. Yeah. But then, the game is just like, you just run around the environment with two friends, Apex Legends style, and you loot stuff and then you leave. And it's like,
it's like Apex Legends combined a little bit with Destiny.
It's like hero-based. You have like preset characters, which is crazy to me because when I watched the cinematic, I was like, oh, they're definitely showing off the idea that there's a ton of customization and you can make a really weird, strange guy in this game, you know? There'll be lots of like, you can color your guy, these plastic robot people in all these crazy ways and attach weird, crazy shit to them. But then it's like, no, the characters in the cinematic are the characters you play as in the game. And it was like...
Maybe the customization is going to be pretty robust because they're just frames, right? They're just their consciousness is literally shoved into
but in the little
frame.
Gameplay bit I looked at, it didn't look like they might have like skins or something.
Yeah, that's what I think.
It looks like it's just like
even
heroes.
if they had extended customization, I wouldn't see it as not being a paid bit where you would customize individual bits. You would probably buy those individual bits, which would probably be even more predatory than skins at that point, you know.
Well, it's not a full priced game.
Oh, okay.
But so also it does have like a battle pass and shit.
That would be fun. That's really funny to like companies. They go like, "Whoa, we gotta like they charge like I don't know, £20 or something," and they go like, "What?" And then they put so many microtransactions in the actual game. You're like, "What? It's
like Helldivers.
It's cheaper, you know, and stuff like that." But in Helldivers, you can at least get the currency if you play.
I mean, we don't know if you can or cannot get the currency in Marathon. I think.
Yeah, that's true. maybe.
You probably can.
In Hunt
Maybe.
Showdown,
I
you
don't
also
know.
can get the currency, but you will never get enough. That
Bungie's supposed to be like ass now, right? Anyway, right?
It's
They're
I don't
supposed to be
know.
like very bad
People play Destiny,
and
and it
basically
was one
like
of the.
hanging by a thread at all times.
I don't get how if the Destiny was such a huge success. That
Because the
just
shit
sounds
costs
like
a lot of money.
that's true. They do. It does cost a lot of money. So yeah, I
Like,
feel like
dude,
maybe
Helldivers was a runaway success. I'm still worried that it's gonna be like they get closed down like in a month. I don't know. You never know. You never know with this stuff.
yeah,
Costs
I
a
feel
lot
like.
of money to make shit nowadays, and shit's only getting more expensive.
But it's smaller studios, so hopefully not. Because like that, I do
Yeah.
get it with like Bungie, because it's
Bungie's
like a
big,
huge,
though,
and
yeah.
they also have been kind of. I think like Destiny, like the newer Destiny like expansions, I think they were not doing as well because they
Yeah, I
were
didn't play any.
people had enough of the game. I would imagine at that point,
I
and
was
I think the
gonna get
quality
into
also.
it, but
Yeah.
then there was the whole thing of like, yeah, we're just gonna like take away this content.
Okay, I
They
didn't
were
know
like,
that.
yeah, this stuff that's in the game, we're just gonna like, yeah, it's you can't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, well, isn't that the story? Isn't that what I'm supposed to be buying into when I download the game and I play through it? Is that I go like, oh, cool, I'm experiencing a narrative and not like a bit of it because I was late. Seems strange. Anyway,
Yeah.
you've been listening to Dead Ensigns.
You just really want to talk about Marathon.
I don't know. I didn't have a lot to say about it. I was just trying to.
You're
Kill
just you're not
time
into
at the
shooters
ending.
either way, so it's not really like
I don't know. I didn't say it was.
like
I was
you're
just
not the
curious.
audience either way. You
I
know?
but that's the thing. I would have been interested if it was just a single player shooter. I would have been like, "Oh, cool! I'll check this out. This looks weird."
People
it's
don't
like,
buy those anymore.
I don't care what people buy and don't buy, man.
You what? You want Bungie to be your slaves, huh? Is that what you're saying? You're saying that right now? Is
I'm
that what you're
saying-
implying? You want people to just make stuff for you specifically?
I'm saying I
Huh?
play Halo 1 and Halo 2 and Halo 3 and Halo Reach, and I go, wow, the stories in these games are so engaging and fun.
They're so nostalgic to me.
Not nostalgic, I'm just mean like they're good.
Yeah, I guess.
They have good stories, good single player campaigns with a multiplayer suite if you want to do it. But
Good
now
dude.
they're making games that are like, well, ideally you're going to be playing regularly for it.
But nobody plays single
I
player
can't-
games, and they even
No.
even in those times, people played the fucking shit out of the multiplayer from Halo. They didn't
I
play the
know.
fucking campaign over and over
I'm
again.
not trying to say if I was head of... I'm sure if I was head of Bungie and I was looking at the fucking figures, I'd be like,
Yeah.
a double the price and put more microtransactions in. I'm saying the reason
And
why I'm
less
not
of the
interested in
single
Marathon
player
is because
campaign.
I want to... I don't hate shooters.
Yeah,
I like playing them, but I don't like playing like multiplayer stuff that much, really.
it was very
And
funny when we
I'm a
played.
very uncompetitive person.
We played Hunt Showdown, and we played a single match, and we died, and then you found out that your guy dies, and you have to buy another one, and you installed the game and refunded it. It was very
Yeah.
funny.
No, I did that with my brothers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost the progress on the guy because he died, and I was like, I'm not into it. And mostly because it's like they don't do that until after the tutorial. You do the tutorial, and they're like, okay, you're good. Okay, from now on, if you die, your guy dies. And I'm like, I don't. Okay. I
Yeah,
don't really wanna
it gives
play
you
now.
like the couple of few levels. Your guy just has death cheat or whatever, so he survives, and then eventually that expires, and they end up dying. you
Because
know?
I'm like really not a competitive person, man.
Yeah. What do you mean you play fighting games?
Yeah, but I play them with friends every now. I don't even really play them anymore. Like I like fighting games as a genre and as a media, as a form of media. I love the characters. I love the animations and such. I love the
Yeah.
ideas, and I love all the. They're awesome, but that's the issue is that I'm not competitive. So I do like a couple rounds, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. I don't care
That's
about winning against the other person that much. But it goes for everything, man. I just like I'm just not too into it.
Yeah, I like co-op shooters a lot. I do really enjoy those, like Helldivers. That's why I really liked Helldivers.
Yeah, exactly. Helldivers is awesome because I'm just shooting bugs with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I love that shit.
But I enjoy Hunt Showdown because it's you really need
I'm
to
sure.
work
I mean,
together.
you fucking played it enough. I
Yeah,
hope so.
you need to play. You need to really work together with your partners.
Communication is key.
Because they're your partner. Their partner, because the Cowboys. You know, your partner. And yeah, and the communication is key, and it does really feel it's impactful. Like that communication is very impactful, and and I really enjoy that. I feel like there are shooters out there that you can, like for example, COD, right? Call of Duty. There's so much rushing of people, right? You just rush them down, and hopefully you shoot them faster than they shoot you. You know, and Hunt Showdown is. There are definitely situations where you just get rushed and you die, but hopefully if you communicated well enough and you kind of strategized well enough, you end up pulling back from that and winning, you know, and that's what I enjoy about it, you know. But you know, it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Blow down my fucking doors and get me the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Because I've said this has been Dead Ensigns 3 times now.
Well, you know, you started it. You started it with Marathon. It's not my fault.
But the second time was because you were going, you don't like shooters. You don't like shooters. And it's wrong.
Yes.
I'm
just pointing out. I'm just showing.
Dude, I remember playing Splitgate 2. I was so demoralized. That made me sad, man.
Dude,
Bouncing off of Splitgate 2. Because I like Splitgate 1 because it felt like Halo at least. You know, the time to kill was a little high, so I didn't feel like complete ass all the time.
Yes.
But Splitgate 2 was like Call of Duty. And I was like, I can't play this.
They also had
can't do anything.
They also had like hero shootery stuff.
That was also like a hero-based sort of... I don't have a problem with hero-based stuff, though.
Yeah. But
my thing with Marathon was just like the vibe I was getting was maximum customization, make a crazy robot guy.
Nobody does that.
And then the game itself was like, don't worry about it. Play as Echo or Wave.
They gotta sell you the skins, man.
Titan.
Like that's the thing. If they let you have customization, it has to be in like a way where it's like
you just sell them the bits, man. You just sell them the bits.
That's true, I guess.
You just go like them. Weird VR helmet, $2, like a fucking like Steam item store or something.
Valve Index, yeah.
You know,
like in
TF2.
Yeah,
exactly.
like TF2.
Do hats.
It's just hats.
Who fucking cares?
But yeah, all right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Ben, I want to get Max. Email deadensigns@gmail.com if you want to talk to us. You can go to YouTube, watch it there. You can leave a comment, like, and subscribe. If you don't want to go to YouTube, you can go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, and all the rest. And all those places will let you like and save or review or subscribe or whatever the fucking fuck. Goodbye.
And you can leave a comment saying that was
I already
funny.
said that. I didn't say that bit though, you're right. You can leave a comment saying that was pretty funny.
Wow.
Like a listener did.
Guess I'll have to edit that out.
Edit what out?
Your reaction, your visceral reaction.
No, don't edit it out, because then everybody will know that I'm a prick. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's shorted out, sir. We're gonna have to phaser it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Right away, sir.
Faster would be better, Ensign.
I can't, sir. We don't want to...
That's enough.
But, sir...
Stand aside, Carlton. I'm going through. You're alive. Good.